A major storm heading our way and a big tap of moisture coming in from the Pacific, playing this all out as we head into the end of our work week and into the weekend, even next week. Tonight, it's all about the cold conditions settling into the valley. We saw temperatures dropping into the 30s last night. And again, for tonight, we're looking at right about 30 to low 40s for the valley lows, foothill lows in the 20s and 30s. For the mountains, will be around 8 to 28 degrees. So it's time to bring in those plants, or at least protect them. Also keep those pets protected as well with a warm environment with those cold overnight lows. Frost advisory in effect. That'll be from 2 o'clock in the morning on Friday through 9 o'clock in the morning. At that point, we're going to start to warm things up. But just as we get through this cold air, we are right into another storm. Winter storm watch in place Sunday through Tuesday. That's going to be one of the biggest storm systems we see in this cycle. This is all coming on the heels of a great start to opening up that storm door. Saw 7 to 18 inches of new snow from Kingvale through Blue Canyon. We saw a steady snow line at 3,500 feet. The first storm system due in is going to melt a little bit of that. It's going to have a higher snow line at 8,500 feet. But then the next one comes in and it replenishes everything. So ski resorts are saying, hey, this is a great start. Let's get things going here. Mammoth is going to open November 5th. North Star and Heavenly on the 18th. Palisades Tahoe on the 22nd. Sugar Bowl on the 25th. You kind of see the timeline here gearing up for Thanksgiving week. Kirkwood on December 2nd, and then Boreal December 3rd. We're still waiting on Sierra Tahoe. Remember, they had a lot of damage from the Caldor fire last year. We weren't able to open. Hoping for good things ahead for Sierra Tahoe. And this is some great weather to kind of get things going for many of the ski resorts. Not the best for travel, though. Here's the storm lineup as it's playing into the weekend. Saturday, we see rain and snow developing during the day. As I mentioned, that snow line roughly 8,000 to 8,500 feet. Now, the Sunday storm that comes in, it'll start with a slightly higher snow line. Once the cold air works in, we're going to see it dropping to about 5,000 to 5,500 feet. The brunt of the storm coming on Monday and Tuesday. Then we've got lingering showers ahead on Wednesday as well. All of this great news, especially since our new drought monitor came in and we didn't see any change. Despite the fact that we saw some showers come through, we stayed steady with extreme drought covering 43% at the state and exceptional drought at 17%. That rainfall that we've had to open up that storm door wasn't enough to dig us out of deficits. We're still running about a ½ an inch to over an inch and a half behind normal. The next storm cycle, though, is going to get us above normal. We need the water and the snowfall as well to fill our reservoirs. We hit some historic lows over the last water year. Now we're looking at a storm cycle that could start to help to replenish some of these numbers. We're still only about 58 to 68% of historical average for Shasta, Oroville, and Folsom. And so all of those reservoirs running about 30% full right now. As we move in through the northern San Joaquin Valley, you can see New Melones and Don Pedro also about 25 to 50% full. Plenty of capacity for all that rain and snow that is headed our way. We've got the dangerous travel, though, heading back into the weekend and early work week forecast here. Driving hazards will include near whiteout conditions, major travel delays, road closures possible. We saw this with this last round of storms. And this one's going to be even bigger. Chain controls and travel highly discouraged, especially Sunday into Monday and Tuesday. And here's the reason why. The first storm that rolls on through, it's going to have a higher snow line, and moisture content just isn't quite as rich as what we'll see Sunday into next Tuesday, picking up about 1/10 of an inch of rain to slightly less than that through the northern San Joaquin Valley on Saturday into early Sunday. For the foothills, about 1/2 an inch of rain, and for the Sierra, closer to about 1/2 an inch of rain mixed with snow in there for some of the higher elevations. But here's the main line of storms coming through. Saturday, it's the lighter one, and you can see a whole lot of green up there in the high country, except right along 395 and some of those higher peaks where they tend to really benefit from a storm like this. Then the bigger one starts to come in. That'll be on Sunday evening. Snow will be steady. This is not going to be a system that comes in and initially is rain on the passes and then snow. It is all snow. And wait till you see some of these numbers for total accumulation. In the valley, 1 to 2 inches. Again, that's just with the second storm. 2 to 4 inches of rain for the foothills. And then for the Sierra, a mix of that rain and snow at South Lake Tahoe. But generally speaking, it's going to be mostly a snow event for even the Tahoe Basin. So snow totals are 2 to 5 feet of snow. That's right, feet, not inches of snow. That's why we really want to highlight those travel delays coming into our Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday forecast. And the great thing about this weekend, probably the best news of the year, is we fall back. What great weather to have that, too. We set those clocks 1 hour back on Saturday night into Sunday morning, getting an extra hour of sleep. And I'd say this is the perfect weather to do it.